I've been a fan of Dan and Phil since 2013. Christ. They were one of the only few YouTubers that I actually watched consistently back in the day. In fact, back in the day I logged onto YouTube to strictly watch Dan, Phil and Matty B. No exceptions, but that was then. Nowadays I'm watching a variety of different types of content, then ditching them and watching someone else, but Dan and Phil are still a priority in my subscription feed. In 2015, you might remember that Dan and Phil released a book, followed by a world tour, where they performed their stage show. I remember this being announced. I remember at the time thinking, oh, that's cool, but things like that aren't for people like me. Hope they upload it to their channel though. And that's the mindset I've been in my whole life. Quite fitting to the theme Interactive Introverts. I'm a massive introvert and I've never challenged that, well, until very recent times. So on Daniel Howell's channel, on the 14th of November 2017, a trailer for their new world tour was released. And what was my first thought? Oh, that's cool, but things like that aren't for people like me. Hope they upload it though. And I went on with my sad, pathetic life. Whenever I can or I have time, I tune into Dan's live stream, but during one recent specific live stream, he said something that shook me to the core, and it honestly felt like there wasn't even a screen and he was talking directly to me.
To danandphiltour.com.
This will never happen again.
No. So I'm just saying, if you want to come see us and connect with us and talk about these things and laugh at these jokes and cry together.
This will never happen again.
So what happened was, I finally thought to myself, no, I deserve this. I can do this. I can afford it. So there's theoretically nothing but myself that's stopping me. It was very liberating. So after that impulsive decision, I made another impulsive decision and bought some merch. Of course the merch didn't come in time, so I found some old Dan and Phil merch I bought a couple of years ago. Before I knew it, it was Sunday the 6th of May. I got my tickets in hand, then put on my merch, then I got my friend who doesn't like Dan and Phil at all. Do you like Dan and Phil? Then we got on a train to Glasgow. Time until Interactive Introverts, 4 hours and 30 minutes. Not without uploading, he comes back with a tag that no one even tagged him in. He's not a challenge to drag, so prepare for an attack, and by that I mean cringe.
Dragged by his fringe. First things first, you're freakishly tall, it's weird, you look like a noodle. You got hair that was cool in 2007 and wet you just look like a poodle. Hobbit. Throw in a really annoying posh voice and, yup, that's Dan. Posh.
Before I knew it, after buying my little brother new shoes and having a little breakdown in the toilets of Waterstones, we hopped in a taxi and then shit got serious. I was worried, and I don't want to be like, oh, if you don't have mental health issues, you won't understand. But the time I forced myself to go to an event for my own good, and overall, on paper, it was a successful night, was prom. And not even 2 nights after, I wanted to kill myself. Obviously, I'm in a better place now, and I pretend that night didn't happen, even though there's really no reason to, because nothing bad happened, it was just too much for me. Whether I hadn't mentally prepared for it and decided to throw myself in to see what happens, or if my mental state was already just a ticking time bomb. In this specific case, I was used to a system that got absolutely shattered to pieces in one night. For many different reasons that would be inappropriate to go into, but I just lost it. Lost all sense of self. Nothing mattered anymore, not the birth of my baby brother, not the college course I got with a stroke of luck, all because I pushed myself out of my comfort zone. In many ways you could say 5 years of my life I've been building up to this moment, and I was about to see 2 people who I've only ever saw on a screen in real life. In a situation where I can't pause them or replay them, there was a strict as flip no filming policy, which I understand because if there weren't security guards sniping us from every possible angle whenever there was a slight brightness coming from us, then I'd have definitely had my phone in front of my face the whole time. Then the whole seeing them in real life thing becomes invalid. I lost most of my energy during the pre-show. As expected though, the show was a blur. I remember random things, like Dan said something about Theresa May being dead, and then the whole audience cheered for about 5 minutes while Dan and Phil stood there awkwardly. I would give anything to have that on camera. I'm gonna search long and hard for it, see if anyone was at that Glasgow show and got that on camera. Now, although I was gutted to not have the whole experience shot on a cinematic IMAX camera at multiple angles to look back on, I do agree about the whole spoilers thing, so I'm going to show you some clips that I got that I now hold close to my heart, but these are completely out of context and spoiler free.
That is how I'm going to go, any day now. But our last one comes from Siv, who said, "Revenge of the Undead Houseplant." Oh my god! This is the mine shaft. It's happening right now, people. I don't have a laptop to throw down. You're on your own.
Well, actually, I prepared some questions from you guys, just in case this happens.
Alright, well, let's see what they would like to talk about.
Alright, let's have a look. Wow, my handwriting is terrible.
Can Phil even read his own writing?
Abby said, what is something you have never tried before that you would like to have a go at?
Ooh, try new things. As less amazing Phil would say.
Yeah, something for me I heard that's popular in Scotland is deep fried Mars bars.
Yep. This has certainly been an emotional adventure, Glasgow. Don't know what to say.
It has.
We've learnt a lot of things about each other.
Yeah, we've learned some things about you, you've learned things about us.
We've learned that I'm going to die on the floor of a fairy rave, apparently. That was fun. Phil would confess everything if someone slowly rolled some Stilton into his neck.
Definitely.
That was fun.
And forever and always, part of you will be Janet.
Yes!
Yeah.
When you leave this room tonight, you don't leave alone. You leave as Janet.
Yes, you are Janet.
It has been amazing.
It has. And I don't really think that we are meant for touring the world and performing as two introverts.
We're just two introverts that should just spend all our time on a couch.
Yeah.
It's our natural thing. But as we said, before all of this ends, we wanted to take the time to come see you in real life because we appreciate that what we have right now, what's going on in this room, this is the special time in mine and Phil's lives.
Yeah.
We'll look back at this when we're old and we'll go, this was the time when what we did mattered the most out of anything. I mean, you can imagine 8-year-old Phil in his robot body.
In space.
On the moon going, I remember Glasgow when I did that offensive accent. That was today. That was us. Phil will have that forever.
My feelings, I can't put into words what I'm feeling because it's a mixture of pride and sadness but also motivation, and I should probably seek out a therapist instead of telling you this. I feel weird. I sat laid down at the back seats on the bus home because the trains were cancelled and just feeling happy and so thankful that I forced myself to go. Even though at one point in my life going to an event like this would seem like an impossible, unrealistic task, I did it. And although this high will probably flip into a deep depression when I least expect it, in this moment I'm so happy. Thanks Dan and Phil. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I did it. I worked so hard on this video and I really hope you understand the actual message behind it. I don't really want this channel to be purely mental health focused, but it is kind of like a big part of my life, and I thought it'd be interesting to share my story in this way, to share my experience in this way. So if you like that, please subscribe. If you like this way of video making, because I enjoy it. It's cool. Subscribe. Yeah. If you were at any of the shows, tell me if you can relate to what I'm saying in any way. Please let me know. Am I just mental? I don't think it's just me. That's silly. But yeah. Okay. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my videos and like this video. Okay. Bye.